Welcome to Have More Babies. Today we're jumping into a really big topic, something incredibly important and honestly often filled with questions for new parents: breastfeeding. Our mission here is to kind of break down the key takeaways from Omega Pediatrics Breastfeeding, the ultimate guide for new parents. We want to give you the essentials, without it feeling overwhelming. Think of it like your quick guide. We'll cover why breast milk is often called nature's perfect food, how to handle common hurdles, and what comes next for feeding your baby.
That's right. We're aiming to pull out the most important insights from that guide, give you a clear, sort of balanced view on what can be complex, definitely, but also incredibly rewarding. We'll have the benefits, sure, but also practical tips for problems and what to expect down the road.
Okay, so let's really get into this idea of nature's perfect food. You hear that phrase a lot, but what's really behind it? What does it mean on a deeper level?
Well, fundamentally, breastfeeding is the natural process, right? Feeding an infant milk produced by the mother. It's widely recommended, especially for those first 6 months, as the main nutrition source. And what's really fascinating, I think, is just how tailored it is. It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. That tailoring is key. The guide points out a few big advantages. First up, nutritional completeness. It's literally made for your baby. Can you expand on that? Why is that specific tailoring so crucial?
It's more than just basic nutrients. It means the milk composition actually changes as the baby grows. It provides exactly what they need at different developmental stages. It's dynamic. Think about colostrum, that early milk.
Mm.
It's packed differently than mature milk. It's like the first immunization.
Wow, so it really evolves with the baby.
Precisely. And then there's the immunity boost. This is huge. Breast milk is absolutely loaded with antibodies. They act like a protective shield, helping guard your baby against all sorts of infections and illness.
It's like a personalized defense system.
You got it. And it's not just passive. We're talking living cells, components that actively help build and sort of educate the baby's own immune system. It's amazing stuff.
It really is. And the third point the guide highlights, something I think many parents really cherish, is the bonding aspect. It enhances that emotional connection, doesn't it? Those quiet moments.
Oh, profoundly. Breastfeeding releases hormones like oxytocin in both mom and baby. The love hormone, right? That closeness, the skin-to-skin contact.
Yeah.
It regulates the baby's system, builds security, trust. It's powerful.
So what this all means for you as a new parent listening, it's really more than just food. It's this whole package, isn't it? Health, immunity, connection.
Absolutely. A complete foundation.
Okay, but here's where things get really interesting and maybe a bit challenging, because the guide is honest. While the benefits are huge, breastfeeding isn't always, easy street. It can come with real hurdles.
Indeed. And it's important to talk about them. The guide points out common difficulties like latch issues. This is where the baby struggles to attach to the breast correctly. It can be frustrating and painful too.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a big one right off the bat.
Definitely. Then there's concern about low supply. The worry about whether there's enough milk being produced. That causes a lot of stress.
Understandably.
And of course, pain. This can range from general soreness to things like cracked nipples or even more serious issues like mastitis, which is an infection.
Okay, those sound like significant obstacles, things that could really derail the experience. But the good news is the guide offers solutions. For latch and positioning, for instance, it strongly recommends getting help from a lactation consultant. How much of a difference can that make?
Oh, it could be a total game changer. These are trained specialists. They can watch a feed, pinpoint the exact problem. Maybe it's positioning, maybe something like a tongue tie. They offer hands-on, personalized advice that can make feeding comfortable and effective. Really invaluable.
That sounds incredibly helpful. Someone who actually knows what to look for.
Exactly. And for stimulating milk production, if low supply is the concern, the guide talks about pumping. Using a breast pump can really help regulate and often increase the milk supply.
Right, pumping. How does that work exactly in terms of boosting supply?
Well, the pump mimics the body's sucking. It essentially tells your body, hey, we need more milk here.
Okay.
So regular, effective pumping, especially if the baby isn't lashing well or feeding frequently enough, can signal the body to ramp up production. It's also great for building a stash or if you're returning to work.
Makes sense. And for managing discomfort, the pain issue, what does the guide suggest there?
It covers various pain management techniques. First, getting that latch right is paramount. Often pain stems from a poor latch. Beyond that, things like using safe nipple creams like lanolin or using warm compresses before feeding, cold packs after. These can really help soothe soreness or engorgement. And if it's something like mastitis, it's crucial to see a doctor promptly. The guide stresses that pain isn't something to just push through. It's a sign to get help.
That's such a key takeaway. Pain is common, but not normal. It's a signal.
Mhm.
Which brings up a point. Knowing these resources exist, why do you think so many parents still struggle, maybe feel alone with these challenges?
That's a great question. I think sometimes it's lack of awareness. Not everyone knows lactation consultants are out there or that their pediatrician might offer support. There can also be, societal pressure, maybe feeling like you should find it easy and feeling like a failure if you don't. It's important to remember it's a learned skill for both mom and baby. It takes practice and often support.
So true. Demystifying it and pointing to help is crucial. Okay, so let's say you've navigated those early days, maybe overcome some hurdles. What's next? The guide moves into the next phase, introducing solid foods. Another big milestone.
Yes, an exciting one. The general recommendation, like from the American Academy of Pediatrics, is to start introducing solids around the 6-month mark. And importantly, this happens while continuing to breastfeed. It's not about stopping breast milk suddenly.
Right, it's complementary.
Exactly. Breast milk still provides vital nutrition and those immune benefits way past 6 months. Solids are about adding new textures, nutrients, and experiences.
And then eventually the conversation turns to weaning. The guide describes this as a gradual process, very individual to each family. What are some signs that a child might be naturally ready to start that transition?
The guide mentions a few key developmental cues. One is a definite increased interest in solid foods. They're grabbing for your fork, watching you eat intently. Another is often a natural decreased milk intake. They might nurse for shorter times or start dropping feeds on their own because they're getting more calories elsewhere.
So they kind of lead the way.
Often, yes. And physically, the ability to sit up well on their own is crucial for eating solids safely. It really shows how much the baby's own readiness guides this timing. It can happen over months or even years for some. It's very flexible.
It sounds like a very natural progression when you look at it that way.
It often is. And the guide acknowledges the emotional side, too, for both parent and child, suggesting gradual changes.
Okay, wow. We've really covered a lot today.
Yeah.
We started with the amazing benefits of breast milk, that nutritional completeness, the immunity, the bonding. Then we got into the real-world challenges, latch, supply, pain, and the practical solutions like lactation consultants and pumping. And finally, looked ahead to introducing solids and the gentle process of weaning.
Yeah, and tying it all together, I think the big picture is that every single parenting journey looks different. And reaching out for good information, for support, that's one of the absolute best things you can do. This guide from Omega Pediatrics really shows how much expert help is out there to empower parents.
Absolutely. And if you are navigating breastfeeding, maybe facing some of these challenges we talked about, or you just want reliable info on kids' health, we strongly recommend checking out omegapediatrics.com. They offer expert advice, tons of resources, and you can even book appointments to get that personalized support for your family directly from their team. Really, check them out, omegapediatrics.com.
Definitely. And we really hope this conversation was useful for you today, maybe gave you some confidence or new ideas. If you found it helpful, please do give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this, and maybe share it with other new parents or parents-to-be who could use this information.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Have More Babies. We hope you feel a bit more informed, maybe a little more confident on your parenting path.
Goodbye for now.
See you next time.